What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with a very brief message before the start of this video. And anyway, you guys, it is officially the release date of my second book, my sophomore book, Ghosts and Mysteries of the Southern Cherokee National Forest and Surrounding Areas. As you all know, I've already written my first book, Ghosts and Mysteries of Bradley County, Tennessee. And I figured, why not branch out into some of the stories that are in the nearby mountains, or the Southern Cherokee National Forest. Anyway, this book has stories of a hitchhiking red-headed ghost who mysteriously disappeared in the 50s. It's got stories of a Civil War soldier haunting the mountains of near Chilhowie Campground. It's got haunted mines, it's got haunted ghost towns, it's got a lot of very interesting stories and history that I figured it would be a great way to celebrate, or a great way to tell stories around the campfire this spring and summer season. But anyway, guys, make sure to check it out. The link to the video is in the description box below, along with my first book if y'all haven't bought that yet. So anyway, guys, let those cameras, or let that video roll now. Oh my God, it's the UFO house. You know what? This is probably about as close as I'm ever gonna get to one of these. What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with a rather fun Chattanooga vlog. As you all can tell, the summer season is finally upon us. And I thought, you know what? We would start some of our vlogs here in near my hometown. But anyway, you guys, I figured today we would check out a pretty famous spot here in the Chattanooga area. I think the hat kind of gives it away. Also, we will be checking out the Coker Tire Museum. But you gotta check this place out. This place is cool. It's the UFO house. This house was originally built in 1970, and to this day, it is still both a famous attraction statewide and locally, and maybe to an extent nationally. I mean, it is a private residence, so we can't go too far, but still, I'm going to be respectful with the owners. I'm not going to go too far in, but this is an epic building. Like, who would have thought that building this would cause such a talk of the town? I like how they've added like the different, like the garden surrounding it. Like, I mean, this is definitely a work of architecture. Gosh, would you like to be the guy that owns this house? I mean, I would, because this is so freaking epic. Okay, maybe they wouldn't care if I walked in a little bit closer. Like I said, this is a private residence, so this is why I'm kind of staying as far as I can, just with respect to the family who owns this amazing structure. Oh my God, now this would be the kind of place that I would live in one day. And just because I would be capable of doing that to a T. Although, I mean, as you all can tell, it's pretty famous, because a lot of people do, looks like a lot of people do check this place out. But anyway, this is a great way to the start of the vlog. Anyway, guys, now that we have seen the famous UFO house here in Chattanooga, let's go check out the Coker Tire Museum. Let's do it. I know I want to. You know, it is so unassuming, but beyond these doors is one heck of a museum. And by the way, to you guys, this is a historic building here in Chattanooga. So anyway, let's get inside and let's check out the museum. Now, one of the cool things about this museum, you guys, is not only do they have old vintage cars, they do have airplanes, 3 of them. And they also got some classic Coke machines. Don't really see them like this anymore. You sure don't. And oh my God, look at all the old cars. Let me see, this is a 1911 Luger. 1909 Luger Type J, Bear Cliff. Few cars in their time ever equal Lugers, both in terms of engineering prowess and fine detail. Then again, $3,500 was a fortune in 1909. And as the guide was saying, or I should say the cashier was saying at the front, this one just recently came back from a festival out in Kansas. Placed first place in its class. And right across from that car, we have this beauty. Kind of puts off the "Oh brother, where art thou" kind of vibe, if you ask me. Kind of like, you know, Babyface Nelson, you know, as the guys are driving down the back roads of Mississippi and getting pew-pewed at and all that good stuff. Anyway, well, it does have a suicide door. Man, this one's a beaut. Oh, and oh my God, look what they have. Now, this is kind of like the classic cars that I really enjoy. The old racers. See, number 13. You see, this is the Kenny Larson Special. 1923 Ford Frontec Powered Racer. Oh my goodness. Coker Tire really knows how to restore vehicles. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. And look at the wheels. Look how the wheels are made back then. Just imagine like all the power and like all the heat coming off those exhaust pipes. You would not want to touch one of those. Looks like we have some more information on the world famous Honest Charlie Speed Shop. Established in 1948. And this is what I find so interesting about Corky Coker and how he started his business. And you know, it's kind of reminiscent of Rich Dad Poor Dad if you've ever read the book, but he would take $5,000 loans from the bank. He would buy these old cars, he would restore them, and he would turn around and sell them for profit. He eventually got so good at it, he didn't need to go to the bank anymore. You know, I could probably take some really good pointers off of that. Now, for a time, the Coker Tire Museum, they did have a replica of the car that the Little Debbie family started their business out of. But I think that one went back to the plant. I think it sits inside their visitor center. Wouldn't you like to own something like this? I mean, you could only dream, because that's a lot of money. Still, look how they did that back then. They had wooden tires, or wooden frames. How would you like to think if we still did that nowadays? We've got some more right over here. Got some old Chevys. I've seen those headpieces before. They sell for, like, they average out at about 50 to 100 bucks at antique stores. So we've got some more up here. Oh, those are so cool. Oh, dude, man, look at the really beautiful Corvette that they have. Man, that's beautiful. I used to think of a time back, you know, before that they made Corvettes out of complete fiberglass. Actually made them out of metal. See, this is a 1955 Chevy. So it's one of those. See, 1955 Chevy. Got some more classics up here. I think that's what I like about this museum. Let's see. 1934 or 1932 Ford Roadster. Rally truck. If you look in the background, you can also kind of see like the vintage, what do you call them? I forget what they're called. Oh, that's nice. And I like how that's just hiding in plain sight. It's one of those old school bicycles. You know, those are a broken neck waiting to happen. My, how we've come with the times. This is a 1936 Ford. Now, I really like how at the time, you know, Ford went with wooden doors. There's a bit of a class with that. Although, I mean, I know that they wouldn't really last in the elements modern times, but still, it's cool to see. And look, they've got that's another thing that you don't really see anymore. You've got the with the sidecar, Harley Davidson. It's a pretty color too. Wouldn't you like to be the person that rides in the sidecar? So I've got a couple of them right here. And by the way, right next to it, they've got a place where they do restorations, which is in this this room right here. By the way, look at that big classic Firestone sign. Good Wrench and Silver Towns. Oh, this is awesome. This is where they're doing some more restoration work. Just look how they do that. It looks like they've gone on break. Of course, employees only, because you don't want to be in there because, well, I mean, I imagine you could probably get hurt if you don't know what you're doing. Pangeo. We've got some more stuff of their workroom. Look how they would make the classic wheel, or the wooden wheels. It's definitely a lost art, that's for sure. And you know what? I think we're going in the right direction, because it says stuff that way. Oh my God. Oh, holy crap. This is... I think I just hit the mother lode. Well, at least I know where two of the planes are at. I think probably the third one's hiding in there somewhere. And I really like how that sign will just hit you. You know, I mean, Indian motorcycles were some of the best motorcycles ever made. I think that they had a revival. I want to say that they did. So I know that they went bankrupt there for a little while, or out of business, I should say. And here underneath the sunlight, well, there's another 1955 Chevy. I think that's a 55 Chevy. Looks like it's in way better condition, but it's probably just the sunlight. Oh, and that one's nice. 1976 International Scout. Let's see. This Scout belonged to Cameron Coker, son of Corky Coker. Cameron passed away. Oh, that sucks. Passed away March 2021. You know what? He had a beautiful vehicle. Ah, this one's cool. This is a 1927 Isotia Francina. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Look how look how like those the motors back then, or at least on some of these vehicles, like, you know, you see like these cartoons, you know, like where, you know, the car is pulling up and it just keeps coming, then you finally reach the vehicle itself. That's kind of what it makes me think about. But man, the inside of that is gorgeous. Gosh, would you like to be the guy that, well, the owner of Coker Tire to have something like that? And in this corner, they have a 1923 Federal. That's cool. Look, they've even got it's got a toe on it. Oh, awesome. And look, it's even one of the types where, you know, you'd have to crank it to get it started. Man, those are some interesting times. Right beside it, let me see, what does it say about it? A 1925 Federal Fast Express. In AI condition. Well, she is a little bit worn out, but I'd say that gives her character. Let me see, this is operated by A.R. Thorpe. Let's see, a Federal Fast Express 1921. Oh, that's neat. What does it? It's like there's a picture right here. Oh, that's neat. Let's see, Firestone. Most miles per dollar. Anyway, that's what I was trying to see. Imagine, way back when this thing was operational, or when it did its job. Just think about the old tire, like all the tires that used to be on the back of it. You know what? I don't think I could really film an entire video on all this, because I don't think that I've got the battery or the memory to do it. But I mean, still, let's keep checking more of this stuff out. I like this one. Look how they used to do that. Let's see, this is a 1912 auto car. Again, it's got the crank to it. Look how that all that would work. You know, it feels like, you know, it's just a tad past horse and buggy. Now this Ford National has an interesting story behind it. Highway 12 touring 7-passenger. Let me see. Apparently they found it and others standing nose up with their tails in a warehouse stuffed with cars. Well, as it says, it is definitely a true survivor. And I believe this is the replica that they talk about, but they do have one from the Indy 5, or replica of the Indy 500 winner. I don't know if this one is it. It's a 1910 Overland. And I like the real old stuff like this. Makes you think about, like, at a time, you know, when cars were, you know, just coming out, you know, we're in the dark ages still. Before Volkswagen came to Chattanooga, there actually was a car manufacturer. They were called Nyberg, or it was Nyberg. And it looks like they built 200 cars in Chattanooga between 1910 and 1912. 3 exist today, 2 in this collection and the 3rd in Denver, Colorado. So this is practically one of the last of its kind, and it's definitely in good shape. I really like how the Made in Chattanooga logo is there. It's just so darn cool. They've got Firestone, Coker Special. Oh, and that's neat. Let's see, a 1928 Bentley Supercharged Tourer. Look how the engine just sticks out. The Bentley logo right there. If one weren't careful, you might get lost in here for a day, especially if you like vehicles. There's a few friends of mine who live in Florida who are die-hard car fans. The 1913 Interstate Gentleman's Roadster. In October 1908, Thomas F. Hart, of Muncie, Indiana, founder of the Interstate Automobile Company, announced the winner of a contest to its name his new car. Production began soon after, and Hart announced to the local press that he was building the best automobile made in America. Even though everyone doesn't know it, the Interstate was unique with its 630 volt generating and starting system. The starter and generator was combined in one unit, creating a diameter or a dynamometer starting at 30 volts. It looks like this one won an award in 2019 in Chattanooga, the 1913 National. You see, this is a 1918 Mercer Series 4 roundabout, made in Trenton, New Jersey. Look at this Model T. This is, I don't know. Let's see, what does it say about it? National First Prize. Look at the wood in that. That's beautiful. And I wonder what they're doing with this one. Looks like they're definitely going to be doing something with it eventually. Or maybe it's just the display of a chassis and an engine. By the way, look at the steering system in that. Look how that works. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 1912. And right beneath it, looks like we've got ourselves a 1928 Route. Looks like a little clown car. Well, I think we've seen enough. I think we're going to go into the next room. I mean, like I said, I don't think I could look at all of them. That would be too long of a video. That was a really awesome collection. But over in here, looks like this is their shop where they do more work. Piper J3 Cub. Oh, cool. Look how they have that set up. It's a jack. It's like they're all working on all different shapes and sizes of old vintage vehicles. Oh, and look, there's two more airplanes. And man, look at this creepy Michelin man. And over here they've got a collection of older tires. Looks like they've seen better days. Looks like we have some more classic vehicles. Let's see, since 1950 or since 58, Coker tire. That's a nice little Volkswagen Beetle. Apparently this is a 1957 Volkswagen with the ever reliable do not touch. Look at the interior of that. All leather. She gets up and she goes. She runs like a dream. Sometimes. And they've got a Jaguar. See, this is a 69 Jaguar. I don't know about Jaguars nowadays. I kind of question where the company's going. But, I mean, still. Gotta love the classic feel to one. The gold. Look at the steering wheel. It's even got the oh, what do you call it? Comes up. Can't think of the word at the moment. And here's a Persang. Let me see. This is a 1928 Persang. It's a Bugatti replica. Again, nowadays you could not touch one of those. Nowadays. Bugattis are overly, like, really expensive. So are Ferraris. Let's see. Actually, speaking of Ferrari, this is a 78 Ferrari. You see? You couldn't touch one of those nowadays. Those are some very expensive cars. And they're really nice too. But I don't know. This is probably about as close as I'm going to get to one. Now I will say, I forget the age of the building, but this is like an old manufacturing building and they have been doing it since the early 1900s. Which I find it's so cool that even to this day, this warehouse has been doing it that long. That's really epic. And you know what? In the comments below, let me know what this is, because I'd really like to know. Now, before I end this vlog, I'm going to check out the gift shop. The only way in and out of the museum is the gift shop. That's usually how it is. I'll just say, they have some really cool stuff. Check that out, you guys. Here in the gift shop, they have some really big gristmill type gears. You've got the Ever Reliable t-shirt, the Coker Museum. It's like they've got some more stuff in a display box. Royal purple. And all the other good stuff. And that is some very interesting artwork. A plastic skull with a spark plug sticking out his head. Although that is pretty cool when you think about it. Honest Charlie Speed Shop. I like how they've got some of this other stuff just hanging here. Looks like you can get on this one for a photo op. 1957 Cushman. Although I don't think I'm going to try to get on that today, because I'm kind of big. Right over here they've got a 42 Harley Davidson WLA. Of course, don't touch. Got some glasses with the logo on it. For a second there I thought that was glass. No, that's... Okay then, that kind of threw me off a little bit. That's plastic. Of course they've got the thermal type cups. Kind of like Yeti coolers. Really tough metal. This was a really cool museum. And to think, I've lived in the Cleveland, Chattanooga area my whole life, and I've never been to this museum. And plus, getting to see the UFO house, that was another one that has been on my list today. But anyway, guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care. Now y'all want to see more awesome videos like this. So without further ado, you guys, this vlog is over. See you on the next one.